Book Buzz, HarperCollins Book Buzz. Check it out. Do-do-do, Book Buzz, HarperCollins Book Buzz. Brought to you by Library Love Fest.
Hi, everyone. It's the Library Love Fest team, surrounded by books.
We're in the same room. No, I'm kidding.
We should do this thing where, like, I poke you, and then, like, you have a finger come through. Forget it.
Like a
The other
five.
side.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
fun.
wait, the other side. Okay, Grace, you and me are going to high five. Okay.
Huh?
So,
Okay.
no, the other side.
It's
Yeah.
the
You're
backwards for me
opposite
now.
for me. Okay, ready? 1, 2. We'll work on it. We'll work on it.
We should have practiced that ahead of time.
Yeah,
I'm
that
gonna
is.
drop something for you, Virginia, if you want.
I've read all the books in all 3 of these rooms.
George Eastman's personal book stash.
That's right. Oh, can you hear the dulcet sounds of my landline ringing? And it's always spam, risk, Anyway, nice to see everyone. It's good to be back. Actually, this is the first time all 3 of us have been together on a Facebook Live. So we're excited. I'm excited. There's a lot to talk about. We have books to tell you about, and we want to talk up and remind you of our upcoming conversation with Laura Zigman and the wonderful team at Ecco. Laura's going to be on Facebook Live in 2 weeks. That is her book, Small World, which is so wonderful. We have all read it. We are all just crazy about it. And we can't wait to talk to her and her editor and publisher about this book. So we have created this widget. So free eGalley. If you're not whitelisted, you can get whitelisted, or you can just download, read, enjoy, and then join in the conversation on October 25th on Library Love Fest Facebook Live at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. She is a delight, and so is this book. Much to discuss. So, do we want to, before we start, and then we can remind people again at the end, but seriously, this book is so good. There are so many raves and quotes about this book. Would you care to share, Grace? I mean, you can read, but my goodness gracious. I mean, how wonderful is this quote from Tom Perrotta? And take note of the word disability, because that features strongly in this book. This is about 2 grown women who are divorced. They are sisters. They are reconnecting. One is coming back from the West Coast to the East Coast, and they're sort of trying to course correct their relationship. And their relationship is fraught with a lot of childhood stuff, because they had a sister. There were 3 sisters, and one of them died at a very young age. She was disabled, and so naturally the focus was very much on this young child, but it really affected the trajectory of the other 2 sisters' lives as children and as adults. It affected everything. It affected the parents, the family unit, everything. And this is somewhat informed by Laura Zigman's own life. So there's a lot to unpack here. They just push each other's buttons, these 2 grown sisters. And you know, there's enough, I think there's enough balance of humor and tenderness and sadness. It's very heartfelt and very authentic. And I think I said to you, Grace, at one point, I felt like this was almost like a novel, because she just writes characters so I don't know, they just ring true, you know, and you just, ugh, it's just wonderful. So
Yeah, they're really dynamic. I love that about this book.
yeah, so these are just some of the many quotes from fellow writers who love this book. Hilarious and haunting. It's true. Yep. The Mellishman sisters. Ugh, so good. Envious of those who haven't read it yet. This quote by Chris Bojalian is wistful and witty and wry. Those are great words to describe this book. So that, I think that's our last quote, right? Grace?
Yeah, and I'll put the link to sign up for the free e-galley in the chat as well
Yeah.
on Facebook.
Read. Trust me, you're gonna be so happy you did that. And you've got 2 weeks to download, read, digest, and join in the conversation with Ms. Laura Zigman and her editor and her publisher. Lainey, where's Lainey?
Present.
Hi.
Hi.
Anything you want to mention about Small World before we move on?
I was just thinking, you said you're envious that people get to read it, and I was like, oh well, perfect, because we have the galley available to you. You know, a galley club, we originally said it's you know, there are no secrets. We're talking about the book, so you can ask the author, like a book club, you can ask the author what they were thinking. And so if you read the book, you're gonna come with so many questions, and the who's better to answer than the author. So be sure to like read before you come, and this is a special treat that we're making this available thanks to the publisher. So take advantage of it. If you're a librarian, you have access or want to be whitelisted, we can do that too. But even if you're not a librarian, you can get the book. So it's exciting.
Yep.
I think Eleanor Littman, when she was on, was saying you get galleys, especially if you're librarians, you get galleys all the time. And that's a really big privilege. Like, that's a big deal. And I don't know that I've ever really had anyone say it like that before. And I love what she was saying. So take advantage of it. And we hope you come with questions.
Last month we had We All Want Impossible Things author Catherine Newman and her editor Sarah Nelson. And then when they heard that Laura Zigman was going to be on, that was our selection for October for Galley Club, they were like, oh, we want a photo bomber. So you never know who's going to show up. So don't miss it. All right. To get
so
that
many
out.
friends.
What's that?
Just so many friends. Everyone loves Laura Zigman.
I know. Yeah. Cool. One thing before we go any further is that we want to mention that if you don't follow Adriana Trigiani, who we used to publish, we still have her backlist, but she is not with Harper anymore. But she has a fabulous Facebook Live presence, and she interviews a ton of authors, and she's really amazing. And today, October 11th, for whoever's watching this maybe later on, is October 11th, or would have been October 11th if you're watching this on the 12th, but I'm getting ahead of myself. At 3:00 Eastern Time, when you're done listening to us, you should switch over to listen to or to watch Adriana Trigiani's page, because she's interviewing a bunch of authors, one of whom is Barbara Kingsolver. And that's a treat. So I don't know, we have the link in the chat or somewhere?
Yeah, it will be.
Okay. So Adriana Trigiani's Facebook page, interviewing several authors today, one of whom is Barbara Kingsolver, to talk about her new book, Human Copperhead. So just wanted to make sure you knew about that at the top of the hour. All right, now I'll stop yammering and you guys talk.
Just putting the Facebook page in there for everyone.
Okay.
And I was just confirming, Grace, you can write in oh, perfect. Thank you. And I'm going to put it in our Zoom.
Beat you to it.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now they have access to it.
Awesome. Thanks, you guys. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Well, where are we starting? Should we get talking about books or Day of Dialogue or Halloween costumes? What do we?
Let's talk about books. Let's
Okay.
talk about books.
Okay, yeah.
Well, what's on the first of our list?
I'm gonna put in the link to last week's book buzz as well, in case you missed it. Lainey and I talked, I think 6 books each, so 12 books that we buzzed about, and you can check that out if you missed it.
All right. Now, they haven't started talking about their books. So I'm going to tell you right now. Last week's Facebook Live with Lainey Mays and Grace Caternolo was off the hook great. I am not just saying this. I swear to you. It was so wonderful. I was out that day where I was doing a webinar buzz. I don't remember what the hell I was. Anyway, I wasn't there. But I couldn't wait to listen to it. And so the other night, around 5 a.m, as will be, I thought, oh, I can't sleep. And I really want to listen to this. I really want to watch this. And I'm telling you, I'm not overselling this. I'm not selling it at all. I'm telling you that this is something to check out, whether you watch it or listen to them. It had the best vibe. It had the best descriptions of books. You guys tailored those books to yourselves, which I thought was really wonderful. And it just, I mean, it was very engaging. You could listen to this as a podcast. In fact, I said to Lane, you got to make this a podcast, strip that audio and make it a podcast, because it was just so wonderful. I mean, I keep thinking about feminist, financial feminist, right, Lainey?
Yep.
The way you talked about that book, personalized it and said, you know what, this is, you know, you learned a lot from this book. You don't have to wait for some male figurehead to show you how to, you know, do whatever with your money, or here's what, let me show you what to do. No, shake all that. This is a whole new way of looking at controlling your own money, taking charge of this stuff yourself. I just thought all of this was so good. Grace, I mean, you've only been doing this a little bit now. I'm telling you, if you have a chance, make it your business to just check this out. You guys put the link in there. Even if you just listen to it, it is just one of, I said to them before, it's one of my favorite Facebook Lives.
Oh, thank you. I mean, we missed you. We definitely would have been only better if you were there with us, but thank you so much for saying that. And I think it's fun. It's fun to talk about books you like, you know, like that's what we're telling you. And so that's what made it an enjoyable time for me personally.
Agreed. And we did not slip Virginia a 20 to say that, I promise.
That was a 50.
You're right.
Semantics.
Anyway, you guys, please do listen to it. It's just wonderful. Just wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Now you guys, when you guys pick a book to talk about, we have Hungry Ghosts. We've got Charles Frazier. How about you each talk about one of those?
Yeah, sure. Whatever comes up first, Grace. I'm good with whatever.
Sure. I believe it will be Charles Frazier, but let me double check. Okay. Yep, it was. So I'm really excited for this because Cold Mountain was one of my favorite books in high school. So it's been a while since I've read it, but I'm probably going to revisit it before I read this one fully. But this is The Trackers by Charles Frazier, bestselling author, and it is set in the Great Depression, in which this painter is basically hired to paint this mural. It's a New Deal project, and he is sent to live at this couple's house. So he's getting hosted, he's getting work, great deal. So this wealthy, art-loving couple, John and Eve, are hosting them at their ranch, and there's a lot of like mystery and like almost lore surrounding this couple. So Eve was previously a singer in like a Western swing band, and John has some like sketchy political aspirations. He's a veteran, and like Val is really enthralled by them. But this is all taking a turn when Eve kind of snags a painting and dips. So they have to go, and Val and John team up, and they go across the US to find her. And this is like a beautiful novel in typical Charles Frazier fashion, very character driven, but still very literary at the same time. And I think people are really going to enjoy this one, and big author. And yeah, I think you should check it out.
And the e-galley just became available, right?
Yep, you can download it on Edelweiss or NetGalley.
Lainey, you want to talk about?
Sure. Let's talk about Hungry Ghost, which I'm currently reading right now. And I don't know if you can see it. I have like all these little tabs because this book is blowing me away. I think I spoke to the editor of this book for something else. And my favorite thing to ask is like, oh, what are you working on? What are you excited about? And she immediately was like, Hungry Ghost. You have to read it. And so I put it on my list, and she was right. It's amazing. And I knew I was gonna like it just from the author note, which is on Edelweiss, so go check it out. You have that link, so it goes straight there. And a couple of sentences from this note will tell you the impact this writing will have. It's just beautiful, and it packs a punch. So in the note, he's Kevin Jared Hussein said, my favorite Caribbean stories aren't written on the page. They were told by relatives and friends and strangers. Animated reflections such as these have always been part of the Trinidad and Tobago's multicultural panorama. Anecdotal tapestry, ghost stories, and dark domestic parables and calcified wisdoms rooted in a bedrock of an island nation. I was always surrounded by storytellers, and my novel, Hungry Ghost, is a deep breath held long in this tradition. I mean, anecdotal tapestry, I was like, okay, I'm so excited to dive into this. So Kevin is the winner of the 2018 Commonwealth Short Story Prize and the author of 3 books. They were all published in the Caribbean, and he was shortlisted for all of these prizes, but this is his first book in the US. He works a day job as a science teacher, so he gets up and writes, and then he goes to teach science. So he writes between his other job, and he still lives in Trinidad. He has no formal writing experience. He just, started writing his novels. And this book came from pieces of 25 interviews with people in his hometown. So these are stories that he's been told, and he's melded them together, and it's just a really courageous story. He's been put along with like the greats like Toni Morrison, Cormac McCarthy. I mean, these are names that are not thrown out lightly, and for him to be next to them on the page, like, that's insane. He's one of the few Caribbean writers being published in the US while also actually living in the Caribbean. And most US readers will learn something new too. So this book takes place in the 40s in Trinidad. It's near the end of the American occupation and British colonialism. And there are 2 classes. There's a family who lives in this big grand house, which you see at the top of the cover, a woman and her husband. The woman has kind of come from an odd past on the island, a poorer past, but not everybody knows how she got to this lifestyle with her older husband. Her husband is in some interesting business things, we will say. But they have 3 men who work for them. One being Hans, who has a family, and they live in the barracks, which are really, really poor. They don't have much, and they, all these little families are packed into it. So you kind of see the dual lifestyles on this island. Well, when Miss Changor, who is the wealthy family, her husband goes missing, so no one knows, and she's now getting threatening notes and rustles in the night around the house. She's all alone. So she asks Hans to kind of move there at nighttime and keep a watch on everything, which is not taken well by his wife, who they have a son who they really want to go to school and kind of get out of the lives of the barracks. They want to move. Anyway, so you see as these things are unfolding, like their lives are melding together in weird ways. And you see how class and structure in this town come together and also set them apart. It's really fascinating, but it's also really beautiful, and it has a lot of different stories woven in between. I don't know. It's a writer to watch. I think he's just beautiful. So I'll stop talking about it, but if you can see from my little notes that I'm I truly am very excited for you to read this book, and I'd love to know what you think if you start reading it.
Virginia, you're muted.
Sorry, Lainey. Lainey, that was fabulous. Did you mention the piece that the author wrote that's on Edelweiss?
Yeah, I
Okay.
read a little bit of it. That's what drew. I think I read some to you. I was like, this is drawing me in. I haven't even touched the book yet. So go read the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, my landline was ringing again.
No, you're fine. Thank you for bringing it back, because I think it bears repeating. Like it's right there on Edelweiss. So
Yeah. So, by the by, happy National Coming Out Day to everyone. We have some wonderful books that we want to tell you about, including this one called The Family Outing by Jessie Hemple. This just went on sale October 4th. This is a memoir. This book is getting all the buzz. She was at ALA in June. She spoke on several panels about this book, her life, her family. It's an amazing story. In the chat room, you'll see a link to her appearance on the Today Show just today. So I encourage you to check that out as soon as you can, because it's really something else. But this is this. Hang on one second. So this is her story about not only her own coming out, but revelations within her family by family members who have had their own secrets, and what how this all sort of transpires, and how there was this almost a domino effect. And it's they're a middle-class family. Her father was constantly away from home, and her mother was he was away enough that her mother was becoming very lonesome, and acting a bit off. And her siblings were trying to make sense of their family and their world. And I think Jessie was the first one to come out. But eventually, all the members of her family came out with a secret or another. Jessie came out as gay. Her sister was bisexual. Her father is gay. Her brother transgender. And her mother was a survivor of a traumatic experience with a serial killer. Now, let me tell you something. This sounds out there, and it's her life, and it's beautifully written. It's received glowing reviews, including a starred review from Library Journal. And it is so honest. When she spoke at ALA, you could hear a pin drop. I mean, this is somebody who's just sharing her life in the bravest way possible. And it's refreshing, it's beautiful, it's honest. And I can't recommend it highly enough. It's I don't know if you're it almost reads like a novel, and yet it's not. If you again check out the link to her appearance today on the Today Show, there are endless raves about this book. I don't know, what else can I tell you? If you go to Edelweiss, there's a piece that she wrote for Time Magazine, The Making of the New American Family. This is just raw and honest. If you're a fan of Running with Scissors by Augustin Burroughs or Alison Bechdel's Fun Home, you're gonna fall into this and not know when to come out, because there's no good place to come out, but you should come out. So that's Family Outing by Jessie Hemple.
nice.
All right. In the vein of coming out day, I'm gonna talk to you a bit about The Fiancé Farce by Alexandria Bellefleur, who is the Lambda Literary Award winner. This is a steamy sapphic rom-com filled with one of my favorite tropes of fake relationships. So this is about a character named Tansy and her first love, and her priority is her family bookstore that was that she inherited when her father passed away. She's not really focused that much on her love life, but her stepfamily definitely is. And to stifle their like incessant like questioning of her romantic prospects, she makes up this fake girlfriend named Gemma, who is based off of a cover model on, you know, a book cover. And this like little fib blows out of proportion when she runs into the real life Gemma, the real life cover model. And on Gemma's side of the story, she's like this black sheep of her family, and she's next in line to inherit her family's publishing company. But the one, you know, hitch is that she has to be married. So I'm sure you can kind of see where this is going. I don't want to spoil anything further, but I think this is definitely going to be one to watch. And I think that it has a bit of YA like crossover appeal. I think it could be definitely for people who are either phasing out of their YA or trying to get like more into adult romances. Yeah, I'm really excited about this, and I think you should be too.
A quick reminder that not only do we love Alexandria Bellefleur, but we everyone else does, but she is 2-time Library Reads winner, so that makes her eligible for the Hall of Fame. Just saying, and that's all I'm gonna say. But everybody loves her too because they always vote for her for Library Reads, and she's wonderful. I'll put a link to a podcast episode we did for the very first one that came out, Written in the Stars.
And I don't know if you can really see on the screen right now the quote on the front of the book cover, but it says that she writes as if she's captured fairy lights in a mason jar, twinkly and lovely within something solid yet fragile. And that is just such a poetic review. And yeah.
Love it. Love it. Do we want to keep in the vein?
Yeah.
I can tell you about the Queer Bible by Jack Guinness, which did come out in June, in time for Gay Pride Month, but it bears repeating that this is an important book. It's a collection of essays celebrating LGBTQ plus history and culture. And if you check out queerbible.com, which is the author's site, we ask our queer heroes to write about theirs, and that's what the Queer Bible is. It's a his site says, "We stand on the shoulders of giants. It's time to learn their names." So the Queer Bible is a guide to queer culture and history. So I highly recommend that you go to queerbible.com, where you will learn about you know, many people, and you will hear from Elton John and Tan France and activist Monroe Bergdorf. It's a beautiful book with these wonderful profiles of people, and you learn a lot. It's entertaining. It's beautiful. These are personal stories and histories, trailblazers, people who've made a difference. And so I highly recommend it. Queer Bible Essays. Jack Guinness. Came out in June. It's timeless.
We have one more in this vein that I think people here are going to be so excited about. Let's tell them about the new Cat Sebastian. We don't have a cover for you because it's quite a ways out. It's June, but we all know and love Cat Sebastian. She does these queer historical romances. She just recently did her first two trade paperback books. We did a really great conversation with her for the first one at ALA, and then the second one, the Perfect Crimes of Marian Hayes, came out, and now like that was different for her, and then now we have something else totally different, but the same great aspects of a Cat Sebastian book you would want. And I have a little bit to share. I know we don't have a cover, but it's all in TitleNet if you want to read more about it. It's so she usually does Regency, and she then just for the paperbacks did Georgian, so that was exciting periods. But this is 1959, so Mad Men era. It's friends to lovers. There's a slow burn. You get a little bit of angst in this, and it's a rom-com. But you know, it's like her historical reads, but it's more, you know, it's more contemporary, still historical, 59, but you get something totally different from Cat. I mean, what can Cat not do? I don't know. But it has an internet fiction, fan fiction feel to it, and it's really immersive and emotional. And you know, that younger audience, like we were saying for Alexandria Bellafleur, like this is good. They're gonna love this too. Hopefully you'll see it all over TikTok. Hopefully. And YA readers will love it. And yeah, it's gonna have that usual like rom-com feel on the cover. I don't know. We're very excited. When I heard that we have a new Cat Sebastian, I was excited, but also to have a new Cat Sebastian that's so different for her. It'll be really fun. Yeah. Oh, and I didn't even say the best part. Sorry, the reading line is Colleen Hoover meets the seven husbands of Evelyn Hugo, mid-century rom-dram that about a scrappy reporter and a newspaper mogul's son, perfect for newsies shippers. So that's a really fun reading line too.
So I think we've touched on some of the books, past, present, and future, that are exciting us and are kind of fitting into our themes of coming out. And
I got one more if you're ready for it.
What is it?
This will probably lead into our spooky discussion too.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm excited about this one. Probably a great read for October. This is the Other Terrors anthology. And this is a horror anthology that's focusing on authors from underrepresented backgrounds, examining the fear of the other and not being accepted by the majority. It's very well known that humans fear what's different than them, and this is an exploration of that. And this is a book that has a lot of really wonderful authors included. We got Stephen Graham Jones, Haley Piper, Gabino Iglesias. And I think there's gonna be a lot of buzz around this. This is endorsed by like the Horror Writers Association, so you know it's gonna be good. And this one came out in July. So you can get your hands on that.
So segueing into scary, Lainey.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about, were you going to talk about, well, we have to talk about your mystery webinar, but was there one more trial you were going to talk about?
Not, I mean, I have the one that's historically scary, but not like Halloween scary. I don't.
Okay. Well, why don't you remind people about the mystery webinar?
Yeah, we're doing a mystery webinar for book list on the 18th, so next Tuesday, during this time, 2 p.m. to 3. We're going to talk all about some fun mystery, detective, thriller books. It'll be perfect for spooky season, and we will, you'll have to tune in to find out. I have a lot to talk about in my 14 minutes, so.
You can do it. Those things, boy. Does everybody like the webinars? How do you feel about the webinars? I'd like to know. I don't know. I mean, we participate in book list and library journal webinars, and you know, people sometimes say, oh, they rush through them so quickly. But the thing is, depending on how many publishers are participating, naturally it cuts down on the number of minutes each one is given. So, and then increases the likelihood of any one of us having some cardiac arrhythmia. But the thing is that we try to get to as many as we can. And usually I don't get to all of mine because I can't shut up. But the other thing is, it's nice for you to have a catalog of the books that we really feel important, we really feel strongly about. So that's sort of, I'm sure you guys know, but that's kind of why we race through these so much. And, there would, look, you guys have a million books to pick from and to know about. And it's an unbelievable task. And so for us to sort of give you the heads up on the books that we think are really above and beyond, and a lot of those usually are sleepers, we don't spend a lot of time talking about the automatic buys. It's those sort of newbies or mid-list sleepers that we really think are just really clutch. And I haven't used that word clutch in a really long time, but I'm bringing it. I'm bringing that clutch, you guys.
I love it.
Do you?
I like it.
Clutch.
Yeah.
I'll use it in a sentence and the remaining minutes that we have.
Feminine clutch with the use of clutch.
Jennifer and Noelle said they love webinars. And Jennifer mentioned like the recorded, so you can go back and watch them. Especially, I feel like that is the key because you're hearing so many. Unless you have like a superhuman brain, I don't know how you'd retain all of it. So the fact that you can go back is definitely a good feature.
Casey said webinars keep me sane. I would like to know more about that. Do you mean because of all the titles they jam in there, like that's helpful, or just like interaction to talk about books, Casey? Let me know.
Let us know. We want
Interaction. Okay. I love that. So it doesn't seem like they're saying hold off on the amount of books. They're saying bring them on, we'll watch the recording. That's good to know.
Good.
For sure.
Thank you. We do like doing them. It's just sometimes I know that people get a little frustrated because we're going so fast. But
Yeah.
I used to have a landlord who used to say, "What can you do? You can't do nothing."
I mean, they're not wrong.
They're not wrong. So now let's talk about dialogue.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, we have a sneak peek.
A very early sneak peek.
Built a booth.
Very early sneak peek.
It's not finished, so don't worry.
It's fabulous, Lainey. You did a great job.
Don't worry.
Yay.
It looks great. So much going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you definitely will not be bored on this day, let me tell you.
So much to choose from. But this too is recorded, so you can go back if you miss this. But I think, Lainey put this together, and I think we're trying to make it as clear as possible. I think it is. We have these wonderful authors. Kevin Hussein and Dennis Lehane. Oh God, I love that book. And we'll be talking. And what's kind of cool is that we're going to have Shannon Chakraborty she's going to record her greeting from 9 to 9:30. When we're talking in the booth, we're going to do a little buzz. The three of us, Lainey and Grace and I, will buzz a few books, and we're going to play this recording from Shannon Chakraborty about her new series. So that's super jazzy.
Yeah.
You want to talk about anything else that's going on?
Maybe that beautiful cover for Evil Eye. I'm obsessed with that cover. It is so beautiful.
If you all listening have not read A Woman Is No Man, that's like one of my favorite books that we've ever published. It was amazing. So can't wait for Evil Eye to be ready too. But I guess just we'll be there all day. So even though we're not, like, we have the booth chat, we have those 3 times in the middle that will be live on via Zoom, but you can always chat with us. We'll be in the booth the whole day. So
yeah, Jocelyn Jackson, Brad Taylor, they're each going to talk about their forthcoming books. Brianna Labuscus, we've been talking about her forthcoming book, Librarian of Burn Books, for a long time now. So you'll get to actually hear from her, and that's super cool. And yeah, and then just lots of fun stuff and giveaways and authors coming to these panels. So yeah, we're super jazzed. So mark your calendars. That's
Gonna be
day of
my
dialogue.
Free.
my first one. I'm excited.
I know.
It's
I
funny. It's
know.
my first one, and I came from LJ. I don't know.
It's funny.
And it's free to sign up, and you can watch the replay for like 6 months, I think. So even if you can't make it the day of, don't worry, pass it along to any book loving colleague or friend, but or colleagues. It's free to register, and we'll put the link in. So even if you can't get there the day of.
Yeah. So that's October 20th. So it's coming up. Do we have we covered everything already? We have. Oh my God.
Halloween.
Let's show the right. Is there am I missing anything?
We have a little bit about the night at wherever we go, that book, which she'll be at Day of Dialogue. I can just give a quick rundown quickly. That's what I was saying. It's like scary because it's historical, but not really because it's a scary.
Right.
So I don't want to mix the message. That's not what I'm saying at all. It's an intense subject. Let me pull up my notes. Grace, can you share that cover?
Give me one moment.
I'm sorry. Jennifer Winberry made me laugh. She said Halloween costumes. You should talk about Halloween costumes. Give it a minute.
Right.
Give it a minute.
Yeah, it was a teaser.
Here we go.
Okay, so this book is a historical fiction. The cover is just beautiful, showing all of the roots and the different things herbs that are used in this book. So it's a story about it's a debut, which for one, can't believe it's a debut, but it's a story of a group of enslaved women on a Texas plantation, which they're a small group of women, and it's only women just because it was easy to buy and sell and kind of keep them together. So the small group of enslaved women on a very, very distant planet, like they're in the middle of nowhere. They had men, historically, they would bring men in to mate and have children. And it's a group of women who decide to take things into their own hands. They're going to make sure that they did not get pregnant. So they stage a kind of covert rebellion against their owners, and it's very interesting. But even just, that aside, the characters and the women in this story are so interesting. And they come off the page, they have backgrounds, and they have stories, and they have a loved one. It's beautiful. But I think if you have time, go read the behind the book piece, because and I think about this all the time. Virginia, you remember Plain Bad Heroines? Emily Danforth said the best stories in history are the ones that are left in the footnotes that no one sees, no one even, they're just a quick footnote and they're off. The same thing happened here. So Tracy Rose Payton saw a footnote. She said 15 years ago, she stumbled across the inspiration for the novel. It was a small excerpt about a small group of enslaved women on a plantation who staved off having children for nearly 25 years using herbal remedies. And even when some of the women were sold off and swapped with new women, the birth rate remained unchanged. So it wasn't the women, it was what they were doing. And only 2 children were born within 25 years. So that was a footnote that she saw, and she fleshed out, and it's fascinating. So it's based on a true thing. But yeah, this is a powerful book.
There are that was great, Lainey, and there are a lot of quotes already in for this book, but there's one from Elizabeth McCracken, author of Souvenir Museum, and the new one is The Hero of This Book, which is getting rave reviews. She says, Night Wherever We Go is extraordinary, a beautiful book about harrowing things, beautiful because of its understanding of humanity, its astonishing language, and the plain brilliance of its author. I'm not sure I've recovered from the experience of reading it, or ever will, or ever should.
Wow.
So we
That's
did there
crazy.
with that last, but yeah, beautiful, beautiful cover. All right, let's lighten the tone on our way out and go talk about some Halloween stuff.
Okay. So we were chatting earlier and we were like, why don't we give some literary themed ideas? So we have a video for you. And while you're watching it, think about some literary Halloween costume ideas because we'd like to know what you think. And this video is up on our social, so you can watch it again and share it. So the gang at work was trying to come up with some literary themed Halloween costumes, and we would like to know what everyone is wearing, but we came up with a couple of ideas. So if you want something super fun, you should try. Okay, Amelia Bedelia. It's got to be a number one. I did it very quickly. You cut out a pie, you stick a little apron on, get a cool hat, throw some flowers on it. 10 out of 10. Okay, this, cottagecore is really big. What if you did like prairie core and you got like a cute dress, you could wear this down the street. You could get that. She went by a half pint, so, get a drink in hand. You're set. We all love Little House on the Prairie. Done. And if you want couples costume, look at that. Look at that. Goals. Okay, for this, I think it's super simple. Like, you don't have time. You just got to go to the library. If you're a librarian, sit at the front desk. Okay, like, put on a crown, get some rings, and hold this book, and you're the Lord of the Rings. You're welcome. Tell us what your favorite literary costumes are. Also, I didn't even think about this, but for Little House on the Prairie, you could be the whole family and carry Caroline around.
Yes. God, there's no end, really, to your creativity. Grace, can you have a funny picture to show, Grace?
I do. Yes. This didn't make the cut, but literally right after we talked about this, I went on Twitter and saw this photo. Talk about a literal book jacket, like for Halloween. Hilarious. Lainey also came up with the genius idea of putting paper on your back and just being a paperback. Loved it.
Please take these ideas, tag us in them.
Absolutely. Do either of you have any like previous literary people you've been besides Amelia Bedelia?
Literary.
No.
No.
I don't know about literary.
I have heard, and I'm sure you guys have already heard about somebody who, this costume idea of wearing a slip with a picture of Freud on it and calling it a Freudian slip.
Genius.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
I was Pennywise from Stephen King's It a few years ago. I don't know if I have any photos from it, but it was a fun one to do.
KC says her favorite homemade costume was Oliver Twist when she was 8 years old. Oh my God.
I love
pictures,
that.
please, pictures.
Pictures.
My father used to, I was telling these guys, I used to always go as a bum. I just always wanted to wear like his hat, his jacket, his necktie, go figure. And he would make the tie the night before and then I'd put it around my neck in the morning. And I put a little charcoal on my face and they see ya. And they were, it was 1970. So they were like, well, we'll see you when it gets dark out. Bye, have a good day.
Not to rave about Chlorine again by Jade Song, but I feel very inspired afterwards. And I was going to be a cowboy, but I might be a mermaid instead. We'll see.
Okay. So do you want to give them a little taste of Chlorine? Not literally because they would die.
This is such a hard book to describe. And if you watched last week's Buzz, you watched me struggle with it. But it's essentially this like coming of age narrative about this swimmer who is like dead set on becoming a mermaid. And it's like a mix between like literary fiction and horror. When I buzzed last week, I had like 50 pages left or so. And I finished it on the plane and I was so worried that people were going to see my face like reading this because I was like jaw dropped, like the absolute horror on my face was, it was gory, but it was great and you should read it and it might be inspiring my Halloween costume. So
Lainey, come
Yeah.
on. You've got to tell them about your famous, come on. You've got to tell them about your
So
costume.
my parents, shout out to my parents because they were probably the rulers of the Halloween costume for their children because they went all out. My mom and dad thought it would be really funny to dress me up like a bug light, like a bug zapper. So my dad built me this like cage and I had glow sticks on and I was a bug zapper one year and I won my costume contest at school. And then I was a die. So I was going to be dice because two people were going to do it, but they backed out. So I was just one and I was the one. So I had a beanie on and I had a little box my dad built me. My parents had a lot of fun with it and I really appreciate the photos. They were devastated when I wanted a store-bought costume like my friends. But yeah, so shout out Jen and Tim, they know what to do.
Lainey, do
Maybe
you have
just-
a picture?
I do, but it might take me a second to find it. If I can in the next couple of minutes, I can show
It's worth it, everybody. Hang out.
Mindy also just shared in the chat. They said when my daughter was in intermediate school, they went as a bunch of grapes using balloons and they kept bursting.
Oh no.
Terrible. Oh no, but I bet that was a great costume before the popping.
Jennifer Winberry says, my sister and I were Mary and Laura, not just on Halloween. My mom, her mom made the costumes. That's funny.
Hashtag parenting goals. That's great.
Yeah, well, listen, we have a few minutes left if you want to share with us what you were for Halloween. I was never anything very creative. In candy. I love the Oliver twist. I bet that was sweet. Casey Davis, did you have to sing like Where is Love? And oh my God, can you imagine singing something like some sad song from Oliver Twist and then asking for candy? I'd give you every piece of candy in the house. Crying so hard.
I found a photo of last year when I was, or 2 years ago, when I was Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. Let me see if I can share it. My face was like blue for like 2 days because I used like a tint in the foundation, which looking back, I feel like that was a terrible decision. And the costume is great though. I did win a costume contest. Let me find this while Lainey's also searching for hers.
I found them. They're making their way to the inbox. Hold
Oh my
on.
God, I'm so excited.
I found them when I was, well, I found one of them. Oh, I really, oh, nope, got it.
All right.
My mom is like, finally, I get what I get what I deserve. I worked so hard on that.
Okay, where are you putting it?
I'm gonna
Your screen?
it to my inbox. There we go. So I've got
I'm
one
ready.
and I've got two. Okay. First is my bug light.
I'm
It's not a very good
obsessed.
picture, but you can see I have little glow sticks on.
That's amazing. You were so little.
We're such a little peanut. Tishu, how old were you?
I was probably in like second or third grade.
Oh my God, the cutest. Look how you're hanging on, being such a good bug light.
I don't know where that idea came from.
It's great. It's
And
so, I bet
then-
nobody else had that costume.
Oh no, there's me
Oh
and
my
guys.
God.
Oh, that is so cute.
Oh God.
I was just happy as a little bug in a rug. I was just so happy.
Oh my, you wear that well. That's the
Oh my
cutest.
gosh. Jennifer Winberry also sent us one of her photos. If
Oh,
she
let's
says
see,
it's
let's see.
okay.
Where is
If she says it's okay, I'll share it. But I think she said she's trying to send it to.
Jennifer, is it okay to
Facebook.
share?
Oh, I have it. Let's see.
Yeah, I have it up if you want me to.
Okay, yeah, she's good with it.
We'll do that. Yeah, she said she tried to share it to Facebook. This is so cute. Like, so cute. I love it. Those are
Oh
great
my
costumes.
Thank you.
Were they
Adorable.
homemade? I need to know if they're homemade.
Yeah, Mom made them, she said. Right,
Oh
Jennifer?
my gosh.
Right? Is that
That is
true?
phenomenal.
She said her mom made them. So I'm going with that.
That's
I
just
love
so
that.
cute.
So
And I
love that.
don't have a good photo of my Pennywise one, but when I won my costume contest, this was the makeup, and my face was blue for a couple days.
Whoa.
Wow, that
Yeah,
makeup's cool.
thank
Geez.
you. I spent a very long time on it, so I'm very glad. It took
That's
me a good
amazing.
2 hours.
Wow. That's prizeworthy. And yes,
Thank
Jennifer's
you.
mom did make those costumes.
Oh, love it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. I know somewhere in the belly of the beast of this computer, I think there's a picture of me. My friend and I went, so there was a Wizard of Oz party, and we went as the Lollipop Guild. That was pretty funny. Yeah, somewhere, no idea where. Take my word for it.
This is
But
so great. I love all of this. It makes me very happy.
oh my God, these pictures are the best. You guys love. Well, it's 3 o'clock. We said we were going to do a truncated, which we never do, which is fun. And it's 3 o'clock, and I think we've gotten through everything. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, so fun you're here. Now listen, you guys, we know it's time to wrap up, but one more time, we're not sure if we're going to be back on the 18th. Time will tell. You'll certainly get a heads up if we are. Lainey will be doing her mystery webinar, so she won't be there. Grace and I may be or may not be, though Grace has offered, if I can't be here, that she will do some tap dancing and read pages from her 3rd grade journal. So great, have at it.
I'll show you everyone my 18-pound cat. It'll be fun.
Oh my God, Winnie. But do remember, please come back. Grace, can you show one more time the link, the pictures, the everything for Laura Zigman's book, Small World?
Yep.
You've got 2 weeks to read it, download it, love it, download it, read it, love it, join us.
And also, not to go back to Halloween stuff, but if you do Harper Library on TikTok and Instagram, please tag us. We would love to see it.
Absolutely. Even if you do like Halloween themed displays in the library, I'd love to see it.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
And we got some great quotes.
If you decorate your library, send us a picture. We'll put it up. We'd love to share. So, all right, I think we're good. If you have any questions, you know how to get in touch with us. We are the Library Love Test team, sending you lots of love. And thanks for watching. We appreciate your taking the time. And I think that's it, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.